Hello. But I'm still talking about the wonderful voices, as they've been saying a lot. They've been saying a lot for 2 years. To be honest, I'm being completely honest right now. My whole life I thought that house was evil. It was like, ever since they had that fight, because of the whole stealing the land thing, Mom and Dad and them had a fight over him cutting too much of our grass. They had a big fight about it one time when I was a kid. And then after that fight, I always thought that he's just a bad person. I've always avoided that side of the property. It's just a really creepy house to begin with, really. And according to the voices, turned out to be our familiar demons. And turns out his son has been playing God for the past 30 years. He dedicated their lives to mind control and just manipulation and blackmail and extortion and it's really terrible people. Really terrible people in our town. Now, I'm not a saint. I have my own, my own opinions and everything. But they're really terrible people. Bunch of extortionists, bunch of traffickers. This is what, according to the voices, have been saying. The evil woman that I don't think is human, who was talking and everything. Apparently, apparently they've been extorting Dad, like extorting and blackmailing Dad for like the past 30 years. Because you know the whole recording everything that we've been saying and everything. I don't know if it's true, but that's what I've been hearing the voices talk about. Really creepy people. Really creepy people. I hacked into my computer, looked up my browser history, gave me the nickname of Rapey Kid. I can confirm that because my wonderful coworker called me that in the parking lot. I didn't know she was talking about me when she said it. But after I came home, like I heard my sister say it too. That was before everything. That was like at the beginning when I still had a job. Yeah. I am known as Rapey Kid all across the country, all across the world. I've heard when my nephews play the live streamers on their TV, I hear them talking about me, calling me Rapey Kid. Because of my browser history. I have an addiction. Everyone has some sort of addiction. I have an addiction where I watch stuff online. It's never translated to anything outside. My addiction has never translated into real life. But they ruined my whole life because of my browser history. I appreciate that so much. One of the most common addictions in the whole world. And they just picked me. They picked me to be on this Truman Show, ruining my whole life because of my stupid browser history. Everyone has, some sort of addiction. It's just how the world is. But thanks. Thanks, neighbors. Thanks, social media. Thanks to my lovely neighbors and the computer hacking supervillain and extortionists. They pretty much ruined my life overnight. And this is going to follow me until my life goes. Till I give up the ghost, as the scriptures say. Yeah. The voices say they've threatened everyone. Everyone that I've ever been involved with my entire life. Everyone I went to school with, everyone I went to church with, everyone I served a mission with. I did serve a mission. Some people might say it's not a mission because they sent me to Hawaii. Mormon missions are Mormon missions. I was there strictly for business. Like, I had to follow rules. It was like one of my companions said, it's like going to Disneyland without being able to ride any of the rides. That's what serving a mission in Hawaii is like. I met some very wonderful people there. Very, very warm-hearted. Very good, very, very special people. I was able to see both sides of the world. I was able to experience, being around people that are homeless, literally living on the beach. And then I got to experience, I got to meet people that live in gated communities within a gated community. Like mansions, almost like castles. I got to experience that. And I got to experience the lowest of lows. The world's messed up. when I was serving my mission, like, there was one part of the island. It was the homeless beach. It was like a houseless encampment that stretched like it was literally a mile. It stretched a mile of beach. Like, this was when Obama was president. Like, they had a convention in Hawaii while Obama was president. And they took out the whole encampment. Like a whole mile of beach of homeless encampment. They took bulldozers and just put everything into a piles. So the people had to go somewhere. They went up into the mountains. They eventually started a wildfire. They started a wildfire from, like, there was pillboxes, World War II pillboxes in the mountains. And they started a wildfire that stretched from those pillboxes and covered like two valleys. Like, I call it Nanakuli Valley and Waianae Valley. Like, the wildfire just stretched for two valleys. It was something to see. I was living in Makaha at the time. Then I came home. The old man next door put an obituary in the paper. His son took over, started playing God, manipulating our lives, hacking into our computers. I don't know when the hypnotism took place. Ever since the old man had an obituary in the paper, pretty much turned the house into a trap house of, like, familiar demons watching our family. I thought after he passed away, things would get better. Turns out, it's like 1,000 times worse. Turns out, he's been planning to start the apocalypse for the past 25 years. He's been plotting and scheming to take over the world with his computer hacking supervillain minions for, like, the past 25 years. And there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do about anything. I can talk about it. Can't prove anything. Apparently, that's what they say. I can't prove anything. Can't do anything. I can't prove anything. It's a mess. I can't even go to church anymore. Because my theory is because Dad's the ward clerk and he does church business on our computers. And because they hacked into our computers and like cloned our devices, they got the information to hack into the church database through their illegal hacking of our computers. And so they literally took over like all the lives of all our church members. Because being a ward clerk, you get like addresses, you get phone numbers, you get addresses and phone numbers. You can look up anything. And you can hack into any house you want. That's my theory. Because when I went to church, like they were talking about me. Like they were describing everything. Like what I was doing, my life and everything like that. Like they've taken over. My theory is like because of our beliefs and everything, like they wanted to be the church's supervillains. And they wanted to bring on the apocalypse of the Mormon church. They wanted to show how powerful they really are. How powerful technology is. They wanted to be the Antichrist, and that's what they turned out to be. Such a wonderful place. I'm sorry for being born. I'm sorry that my opinions hurt my neighbor's feelings. Because that's where it all started. I voiced my opinions, and it kind of triggered them, turned them all angry. And then after 25 years of stewing, finally did what they wanted to do with their army of teenagers. They're 1/3. They've taken over the world. One time, like when I was getting done for my walk, there were two people on their bicycles, that followed me to the end of the trail where I parked. And then I heard the devil kids say, I made them wipe their noses. And they did. The two people The two people were standing there wiping their noses with handkerchiefs as I was driving off. And then I heard the kids say, I made them wipe their noses. This is my fault, and I do apologize for all the lives that have been ruined. This is my public apology. Everyone being extorted, everyone being forced to play this game, this evil game that they've made up. This is all my fault, and I'm sorry. I thought this was going to end a year ago. Like last year on my birthday, they had a whole thing. Like from the time I started getting followed from home, like there was a narrative that there was a mobster. That there was a mobster manipulating everyone. It was like the voices were saying, he's a mobster, he's a mobster. And a year ago on my birthday, the voices in my head were like talking about an FBI raid. And how the FBI raided all these houses. And they took the life of the mobster. This is when they got me admitted to the hospital. The second time. Yeah. The first time I got admitted to the hospital, I hurt my foot. The second time was on my birthday. The gang stalkers, they followed me to the hospital. Like they make my time in the hospital a nightmare. Because I can't do anything. And they're just there. And they make it a nightmare. Like it's terrible. Like I am never going to the hospital ever again. I went to the hospital 3 times to see if going to the hospital would make the voices stop and getting on medication would make them stop. It never did. But the second time I went to the hospital, the FBI raid happened. Like they took the mobster, they like all these people got arrested. There was a shootout. Like people were hiding in basements. There were shootouts. There was torture. People getting put into horse trailers and put into the river. That's when like the results of the lawsuit have like occurred. And Dad won the lawsuit. He won all this money, won all this land. But because they're sore losers, they started the apocalypse. They created the mark. And this Truman Show is how they're repaying the debt of losing the lawsuit. I don't know if any of this is true, or if it's just gaslighting. But they ruined my life. I am now known as the rapey kid across the whole world. And the teenagers, like the kids that work in all the factories, like they never stop talking about it. It's like I hear kids saying, it's never gonna stop until he's gone. They're never gonna stop until I take my life. That's a wonderful thing. The whole computers and the internet. Hypocrisy. I can be told I can say that I'm a hypocrite. Because, there's a lot of hypocrisy that I've in my life. But I don't go plotting to ruin my neighbor's life. All I've ever wanted to do is be positive and be left alone by my neighbors. It's like, we've shared the same property line for the past 34 years. The other neighbors moved in like 25 years ago. They moved in before I was born. So that Mom and Dad shared the property line with them for like 35 years or more. I knew. Ever since I was little, I've never wanted neighbors. I've always wanted to get out of here. I've never wanted neighbors. I've always hated having neighbors. And these past 2 years, I've been a prime example of why I've never wanted neighbors. We are all being played in the Devil's Symphony. This is the most beautiful symphony the devil will ever create. It's evil, It's evil and beautiful at the same time. Like it's Satan's symphony. And we are prime examples. We are the example. We are living Satan's symphony right now. Can't prove it. Can't prove it, and we can't do anything about it. So, I guess I'll find out when I cross the veil.